Welcome to the Art and Hustle Podcast, a gallery of conversations, a space where you can hear all the amazing stories and life lessons of my guests. I'm your host, LINDALCHEUNG, fashion designer turned multimedia artist, and I want to give you a space to tell your story.
There we go.
Hello. Perfect. I know where you are. All right. Welcome, Tom. Greetings from Shaolin, and welcome to the Art and Hustle Gallery of Conversation. I'm so happy to have you here, Tom.
Well, greetings from Jersey. Be here tomorrow.
I know. I'm excited to be there tomorrow. We're going to do some body painting, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do something. I know Nikki's got a new wig, and I'm sure Auntie's got a bunch of stuff, and I got the job. I just pushed the button. So
you do a lot more than just push the button. You have like all of it. You have the knowledge. So tell me a little about how you started your career. You started your career in music first, right? Not in photography?
Yeah, I was actually a musician way back in the early 70s. I graduated from Berkeley College.
Mm-hmm.
That's the degree right up there.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, the old saying is the best and the worst leave. Mm-hmm. I graduated, so I don't know what that is. Mm-hmm. And I played professionally for 10 years.
Wow.
So, and what else? My girlfriend, wife, ex-wife at the time said, beat it and don't come back until you got 20s. So the only thing I could do for money, like tomorrow, was carpentry. So I worked with GC for a few years, putting insulation in the summer and putting on roofs in the winter. And we made some cabinets for a customer right in the garage. And I was like, hey, I like this. I'm not in the rain. I love it.
Yeah.
So I eventually set up a little shop in the basement of my father's house. And I was making, futon frames, which was interesting. Mm-hmm. I had a buddy that worked at a medical supply company and said, could you make cabinets for a doctor's office? I'm like, yeah, sure. Even though I didn't have equipment. And I ended up getting a job as a shop foreman at a cabinet shop because I had these jobs I had to supply. So did that for 5 years. And the guy that owned the shop spent all the money. So I was running the shop and he had a salesman and we're like, there's gotta be a way to make money at this. So we started our own company back in 91. And it's August 1st was 30 years. Almost 30 employees, 30,000 square foot factory.
Yeah,
real thing.
That's amazing. Yeah. And what did you play? What instrument did you play?
String bass. The big,
Yeah.
I played all over New York, up and down the East Coast, So it was, I was in the 70s. So that was an interesting time. That was back when you wouldn't stop at the traffic lights on Houston Street after.
Oh, okay. And what was your band's name?
I didn't actually have a band. I was actually a jazz bass player, and I played with all kinds of,
Yeah.
A lot of stories for another.
And how did you get into photography?
Well, I have a habit of getting into things and they become out of control, like cabinet making. I also like fly fishing and both. My Coast Guard captain's license right there.
Oh, so you're a captain also.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. That's official.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. You have a great name.
They do. And then I paid extra for it. And then I started doing photography basically as a way to keep me off the front page of the Daily News. Stress relief at work.
Yeah.
And of course, I went nuts. So here we are.
Yeah.
And last year, I think I was in 93 magazines.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, I can, because at first it was like being in a magazine was like this magical thing. I mean, how does this happen?
Yeah.
Well, so I'm done. And so right now, well, all the things that we're doing, I've got some concepts in my head, because when I submit again, I really want to have a kind of a new kind of different thing other than just, pretty girl in tight dress.
Yeah. Something a little more artistic and different than what you've been doing, kind of.
I'm not into the soft focus butt shot. There's a lot of that on Instagram, but plenty of that. I don't need that. Internet doesn't need another one. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about? The innate primal instinct that humans have to create. Is that what we want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, we could find out. I mean, what is
years ago they would paint on walls of caves in France.
Yeah, I mean, like, I want to know everything. I want to know, what is the purpose of life? What is the the meaning of everything?
Well, I'll let you know.
What's the secret to a happy marriage?
Secret to a happy marriage, I would say being on a perpetual date.
That's really good. You know what? That is actually one of my things I've learned after my divorce, that I realized you can't stop dating your wife or your significant other. Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, I don't know if you can see, but I had a quadruple bypass back in 2006.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something, nothing gets your attention like a rib spreader.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, I earned it.
Yeah.
But if I had just done the white guy thing, which was, hey, don't worry about it, it'll fix itself. Let me see. I would have missed my daughter's graduation, her wedding, my grandson, my granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have met all you cool people, and I wouldn't have met Jenny.
Yeah.
So I kind of look at those last 15 years as kind of like bonus. It's, I'm obviously an old guy. I don't know if you've noticed. I used to play a lot.
You're Captain Marvel. What do you mean?
Yeah. So, I used to play a lot of pinball. So, these past 15 years have been an extra game.
A bonus game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
And how did you meet Jenny?
The official story is we met at Barnes and Noble.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And our very first time together was I gave her a ride to Vermont because she was going to do a bike thing up in Vermont with her bike club.
Yeah.
And I brought gear and I went fly fishing and she went biking, and that's a good way to really find out whether or not someone's going to be good or not. Spend 6 hours in a truck with them.
Yeah.
That'll go. You learn a lot real fast.
So what is an amazing quality you think that has made your relationship work with her?
Nothing is too outrageous. I mean, if you want, the hardest thing is just to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've seen, she plays the Chinese zither, taught herself how to play that.
Yeah.
She's involved with the painting and the sewing,
mm-hmm.
and all the sports, and the ping pong.
Yeah.
Kicks my butt left-handed ping pong, although I kick her butt with billiards, and of course we don't play that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys have like your own like hobbies and things that you guys enjoy doing, and then you do things together.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
She's my harshest critic with the photography.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and not the harshest, the most truthful. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. What does she think of the recent stuff that you've been working with Anthony before and now?
Well, she's intrigued.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little beyond what she expected. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
She really likes the black and white. Whenever I do the black and white, she's always sending me stuff on WeChat. from black and white.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know that's Fan Ho and that's Richard Avedon and that's Irving Penn. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. You're like, okay, I'll do some black and white.
Yeah, we'll do black and white.
So,
and,
yeah.
Well, excuse me, the rules here at the house, no glitter and no nudity.
Yeah.
So, but there's a way to capture allure and desire without being naked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's harder, but I think it's more rewarding. So,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sunday photo shoots have been amazing. I mean, ever from the makeup to, the modeling and the photography and Anthony, like all of it's been like super fun and exciting to be a part of.
Well, photography is very similar to music.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar to the way music was. It's a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
You kind of have an idea when you start playing. You're playing you're creating a bass line or a particular set of chord changes, but the tempo may change. The solos may go in a different direction. And it's the same thing with the photography. We have a little concept, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, stop. Let's try something else.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the photography, the music. Back when I was playing, it was you want to play what you hear.
Yeah.
Okay. So the important thing was, what are you listening to?
Mm-hmm.
So with the photography, I really want to shoot what I see.
Yeah.
So the important question is, what are you looking at?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, you go to the Met and you spend a good hour and a half just sitting with Rembrandt and noticing the way how the light cascades across the face. And I don't know, it's, it's important, to see a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. And when did you start doing photography? Like in 2013. 2013. Okay.
Yeah, in 2012, if you had asked me what an aperture was, isn't that part of the knee? I mean, I literally didn't know.
So did you teach yourself everything, or you took some courses, or?
Learning is really easy if you want to know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have a little bit of a passion, and if you like it, it's really easy to learn. Like. Now, of course, art and hustle, just because you're good doesn't mean you're going to get paid for it.
Exactly, which hence the shirt that I'm wearing.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, if you come up with something that somebody wants so badly that they'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay. It used to be that way with music. Are you playing something that people want to hear so bad that they'll pay for? If the idea is to get people to pay you, maybe music and photography isn't the way to go. Maybe cocaine. I mean, but the risks.
Yeah.
It's the same as with the cabinets that we're doing now. We do big architectural millwork jobs, huge.
Mm-hmm.
But people more or less pay for that. They need it. They need it. They can't get it for free on the internet. They gotta buy it.
Yeah.
So
you
do.
Yeah.
So if people aren't just gonna shower you with cash, the thing is well, how about if I just take pictures the way I want to, what I see, and if other people like it, fantastic.
Yeah.
If they don't, whatever. I mean, I'm 66. I don't have to, I'm done trying to be cool. I tried, didn't work.
I mean, like all the stuff and all the photos you're taking now are, beyond cool to me right now.
Oh, that's good. That's one person.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's so important at this point to like just do the thing you love and it makes you happy and that you're enjoying it and you like the end result of it.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to somebody else smarter than me to determine whether or not, it's hard or not, or, whatever. But as long as I enjoy it, I guess that's what's important.
Yeah. So what we can do now is we can actually play a little bit of Vogue. Vogue has like 73 questions that they like to do and ask, celebrities and everything like that. So we can play that and see how many we get through.
Okay, go for it.
You down? Okay. So what was the first thing you thought of this morning?
First thing I thought of, I actually got a text message this morning that woke me up. So of course, like, who the fuck is this? That was the first thing I thought. So
what did you eat for breakfast?
What did I have for breakfast? I actually didn't have breakfast this morning. So first thing I actually ate today was some whole wheat steamed bread with olives. Greek olives that Jenny and I made. So
I love olives. Yeah.
So
were you named after somebody?
No. Actually, all the men on my father's side were all named John.
Oh.
They're from Southern Delaware. Okay, so there's a little thing happening there. So everybody was always referred to by their middle name. Like my father, John Ray, so he was Ray. And my grandfather was John Edward, so he was. They used to call him either call him Edward or John E. And my mother refused to call me John. Just said, no, we're stopping that white trash tradition, and we're gonna different name.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God, that's funny. And where were you born?
Wisconsin, actually. My father was going for his doctorate at the time. In fact, I had to look at my birth certificate the other day, and it was pretty amazing. My mother was 22, registered nurse, and my father was 24, graduate student at the University of Wisconsin in pharmacy. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, and your first child, you're a graduate student, you're 24. And I'm thinking, I'm thinking about what I was doing when I was 24. I'm like, oh, what a loser. Amazing. I never got arrested, so that's good.
That's a great accomplishment.
There you go. So
now, how was your childhood?
It was very middle class childhood. No trauma.
Yeah.
It was the 60s, so it was interesting.
Yeah.
But, who knew when you're living it? So
yeah.
I missed out on all that fun in Vietnam. They picked the number the year I turned 18, but they didn't take anybody.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that kind of focuses your attention when that can happen.
Yeah. Were you closer to your mom and dad?
Okay, my mom. If my mother had been born in 1942 instead of 1932, she probably would have been a thoracic surgeon. But you didn't have those choices.
Yeah.
So she was a mom, and she embraced her role. She had because she was supposed to.
Yeah.
Of course, she cared for all of us. But that's kind of my take on that.
Yeah.
My father died 5 years ago, and my mom died actually 2007. My father died 5 years ago, 2017, and I just mentioned to Jenny the other day. I might talk to him like twice a week, maybe see him a couple times a month. But I find it's interesting. I don't know, maybe because I'm getting older, but I think about him every day. Yeah,
maybe he's around you, his spirit.
I'm sure he is. I've really come to appreciate him a lot more recently. When you think about it, he was born in 1930.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, grew up during the Depression,
Mm-hmm.
and then World War II.
Yeah.
So it really was the end of the world. It was
Mm.
really happening.
Yeah.
It wasn't, we don't know.
Yeah.
So in 1945, when it's not the end of the world, when the world didn't end, a little more grateful for what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're gonna just put our heads down and work.
Yeah.
Because we didn't die.
Yeah.
And interesting when you think of it in that respect. All I can say is I'm glad we're not in Ukraine right now.
Yeah. I mean,
And the
that's
question,
crazy.
would I grab a gun and in my position and defend my right to live in Bergen County? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If there was actually a T-30 tank sitting outside on my street.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Finding it very fascinating.
Yeah. That's just crazy.
So, sorry.
No. No, I mean, like, yeah, add stories into these, whatever's happening. Now, next question is, what do you like about your occupation right now?
Which one? The cabinets or the photography?
I think both.
Cabinets, I kind of wish I was supposed to retire 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if you heard about that virus that was around. And I remember seeing on the internet that Governor Murphy was going to close down the state. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm not retiring.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of ended that.
Yeah.
And, we stumbled through. Actually, the job, it's what I do.
Yeah.
So I'm rewarding. Yeah, sure. Here I am. You see all my toys. Yeah. There aren't any cabinet company owners on the Forbes 500, but for a good reason. But, I'm good.
Yeah.
Bills are paid.
Yeah.
Toys that I covet, I can usually get.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a lot of employees that have been with us a long time, and they've put their kids through college, and they've bought houses and
Mm-hmm.
done okay.
Yeah.
So far, let me find some wood. Never haven't missed a payroll in 30 years.
Yeah.
And recession and everything else. So I don't think anyone would ever accuse me of being a good businessman, but never missed a payroll. So
that's huge. That's so important. Now, what about photography? What do you like and don't like with the photography?
Like and don't like. That I can't do it enough.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot of ideas in my head, and how to create a certain set or a certain look or a certain thing I want to capture. There's that. Yeah. I just don't have time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the space to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the technique to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. Wait, tough. What's tough? Tough is being in Kiev. Tough. Worrying about whether you have a set big enough. Not tough. It's not.
You just want to be able to, play more.
Don't you have a good time when you're here? I mean, it's
always. I want to do this every day. I mean, it's fun. It's like playing. It is. It's like playing. You get to be creative with like amazing people. Like, it's super fun.
Yeah. What else should there be? If you can do it, you should do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna feel guilty.
Exactly. Now, what's give me some like crazy either job experience or crazy story with your music or your cabinetry or your photography. I'm sure there's some with your music, right?
Yeah, there were a few.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many I want out on the internet. Crazy stories. Well, let's go to the next question.
Okay.
Let me think.
Yeah, you're thinking about a crazy one. Okay.
I have, believe me.
Okay. Now, how long have you lived where you are right now?
Since 2008.
2008. What's 3 words that describe where you live?
Where do I live? I mean, I live in North Jersey, buddy. Come on, that's where I live.
Yeah.
New Jersey. I
Uh,
love it.
favorite
No traffic.
food? Yeah. Favorite food?
Shanghai Bowser.
Mm. My
You know
kids,
the
yeah, like
pork
the little juicy buns.
top. What?
The juicy buns?
Yeah. No.
No.
The bread buns
Mm.
that are fried on the bottom and steamed on the top with the
Oh, okay.
ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the best.
I love
They're the
those.
best. We actually make.
Does Jenny make them?
We both do.
Hmm.
We both do.
Yeah.
I'm a little more fearless around flaying than she is. So.
Yeah. I would love to try some on Sunday.
It's an all-day event. It really is. It's an all-day event. It just takes over the entire kitchen.
Yeah, yeah. What is your least favorite food?
Least favorite food? Well, I'd have to say shellfish because I'm allergic.
Mm.
Like clams and oysters and all. Least favorite food. I kind of appreciate almost anything. Obviously being a white guy, I got the blood pressure and the sugar and the this and that. So, I've been kicked off a lot of teams. Sweet pizza and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Food like porno at this point. I watch other people eat.
Oh, what is your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant's not around anymore. The Shanghai Kitchen on Bayard Street, Chinatown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's long gone.
Mm-hmm.
Other favorite restaurant was Shanghai Garden on the next street over from Roosevelt in Flushing.
Mm-hmm.
You know how the restaurants are in Flushing.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just take you there. I don't know the name. I don't know the address.
Yeah.
It's just really good food.
Yeah.
We should take my father, and I'd always bring a fork with me because and I don't I tell him, listen, Dad, don't ask. Just put it in your mouth. Just swallow it and enjoy it. So
that's awesome. What is your favorite pizza topping?
Onions and black olives.
Okay. What is your favorite country to visit?
Oh, I unfortunately I haven't been a lot more. We were going to do some traveling, but that virus thing.
Yeah. That COVID thing.
Yeah, I don't know. My favorite country was at one point China. We went to Shanghai in 2012, and oh my God, I was just blown away.
Yeah.
Blown away. I mean, the Shanghai Pudong Airport. You could just feel the opportunity just crackling in the air.
Yeah, yeah.
I've told anybody who's like 30 to 40, just get a visa and go. Just go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about now, but I really enjoyed it. We went to Iceland,
mm-hmm.
and that was cool.
Wow.
Floating in thermally heated pool.
Yeah.
20 miles from the Arctic
The ones
Circle.
like all steaming, right? The colors and everything.
So, anyway, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Canada is one of my favorites. I love going to Montreal.
Yeah, I love Montreal. It's really nice and quaint.
Yeah, and ride bikes all over Montreal. All over. They got a really great system of bike trails.
Yeah.
Really great. Enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
So, bicycle, not a motorbike.
Yeah. What is your spirit animal?
My spirit, a bear.
Okay. Have you ever seen a ghost or felt a spirit around you?
A ghost or sober?
Anytime. I mean, either.
No, not really.
It works.
Not really.
Do you have any pets?
No, we don't. And I love dogs. I love dogs. I had a Labrador for a long time.
Yeah.
It was the best. Jenny and I had talked about having a dog, and I said, well, first of all, both of us work like nuts. So it would be, if the dog's home in the house all day, it's like dog prison. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's. And then I mentioned to her, I said, you really, because she never had a dog. I said, you realize the dog's going to take a dump in the house. It's going to happen. Yeah, going to happen.
Yeah.
And that completely horrified her because I know that, she would just burn down the house and just move somewhere else. I mean, just to have that. So that's what.
So no pets, no pets. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, not now.
I know. I always tell my kids, I'm like, well, when you're ready to clean up after the dog and pick up their poop, then maybe we'll think about it. But like, you gotta be comfortable with that.
Plus, in the morning when I'm going to work and I see people out there in the rain and the snow, dog, and I'm like, hey, I don't have to do that.
That's cool. That's why I have fishes. It's contained.
Fish should work, yeah.
It's totally contained. I have a 55-gallon fish tank. They just hang out in there. What is your favorite color?
Favorite color? I don't know. Black.
Black. Yeah. What is your favorite movie?
Godfather. Parts, not 3, just 1 and 2.
Just 1 and 2. Yes.
In fact, I need to watch it. Usually, like maybe every year, 16 months.
Mm-hmm.
Then he says to me, "Why?" I said, "Well, I mean, if you listen to Beethoven, you don't say, well, I heard that before. I mean, right? Yeah, I heard the Ninth Symphony. Yeah, it's pretty good. They got a lot of singing in it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Same thing with Godfather. I know the theme, I know the plot and all that, but
yeah,
Central American cinema, the best.
Yeah. You just gotta watch it again. Yeah. What is your most desired quality in a friend?
Humor. Humor. You gotta have a good sense of humor.
Yeah. Do you speak any other languages?
No, I can barely get by in English. Yeah. That's one thing. I could never get it together with languages. I just can't. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
And there's that old joke about what do you call a person who speaks 3 languages? Trilingual. What do you call a person that speaks 2 languages? Bilingual. Mm-hmm. What do you call who speaks 1 language? American. So
that's funny. That goes into the next question. What's the most American thing you can think of?
Well, they don't speak 1 language. Yeah. Actually, what's interesting about, I really appreciate this. Watching the way that Jenny will go back and forth between Chinese and English, back and forth. Not a problem. Yeah. It only happened one time, and we were in China. It was the end of a long day, and we're tired and all this. And she's talking with some official, and turns around and addresses me in Chinese. And that was the first time and only time ever. Mm-hmm. So I always enjoy though when I don't know, we're in Flushing or we were in Shanghai or Suzhou, or somebody comes up, they see a big white guy and they're trying to sell me something. I'm like, boy, out. And I get that look.
They give you that look of like, oh, that was a good one.
No, look like, hey, big white guy said something that sounded Chinese.
That's awesome.
我是的不好. I don't speak that.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the extent of how much Mandarin I know. I only know like tiny little phrases in Mandarin and tiny little phrases in Cantonese. So I know more Fuzhou.
Although when Jenny and her sister are going at it, I can usually get the general gist.
Maybe from the way they're talking too, probably, right?
There's nothing like 2 Chinese sisters going at it. Nothing beats it.
What is your favorite TV show right now? Or Netflix, Hulu, whatever you're watching?
Interesting. I don't know. I usually after work, I come home and I watch Stephen Colbert, for the day before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just because, my favorite TV show. I really don't have one right now. I don't. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Your favorite hobby? I'm assuming photography right now.
That's it.
Yep. What do you do to decompress?
Decompress. Work on photos, which is nice because I really get in I kind of create my own little bubble.
Yeah.
Just watching random YouTube videos,
Mm-hmm.
about different stuff,
Yeah.
British history or something.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do to decompress? Yeah, that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
You have a favorite book?
Well, I'm a little embarrassed because I don't read a lot these days, actual books. Although when I was reading, my favorite book was the Tin Drum
Mm-hmm.
by Gunther Grass,
Mm-hmm.
which I read several times.
Yeah. What is
Post-war.
your favorite lunch?
There was chef salad.
Chef salad. Not a chef
I was eating-
ideal.
Well, no, because I eat at this little deli, which is the only reason why I eat there is because it's close to the factory.
Yeah.
Certainly food. And somebody came in one day and they looked at my salad, which was laid out. They do a nice job. And they're like, "What is that?" And I said, "Pennants." So, yeah, it's a rabbit food all the time. Man.
Yeah. Someone famous not living that you would like to have lunch with.
I can just go on and on. Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Bill Evans. Who else? Beethoven. Jesus Christ. He'd be an interesting dude to talk to. Dude, you realize, what's happening here? Come on. You realize if he came back, he would be in a synagogue,
Mm-hmm.
not in a Baptist church, by the way, because it's Jewish. Who else would I like to talk to? I don't know. Henry VIII would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of parallels between him and Donald Trump, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
Although I think Henry had it together more. I don't know. There's oodles of people.
Mm. Now, name somebody famous that's alive that you would like to have lunch with.
Oh. Geez, I should have done some homework for this. This is...
It's okay. I have so many. We can just keep going through different ones.
Somebody that's alive. Well, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to say Obama.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to just talk to him. That would be cool.
Yeah. All right. That's great. Yeah. What historical era would you want to live in?
This one.
This one? Really? What is your dream car?
I like probiotics.
Oh, okay.
I like smart plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not fashionable, but I'm a firm believer. I mean, it just is. In science and medicine.
Yeah.
I like electricity. I like indoor heat.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I like this one. Thank
you. I enjoy all those things too. What is your dream car?
My dream car?
Mm-hmm.
Dream car. I'd like to have my 65 Mustang back. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
289 V8. Although when I was driving it, it was a bomb.
Yeah.
Now it's ridiculously expensive. I remember going to the junkyard. You could pick out. Hey, listen, I need a yellow driver's side front fender, and they would have it.
Oh wow!
So many. I don't know how many millions they made. That was a great car. That was a lot of fun. Maybe it's the youth. My youth that I'm trying to recapture, and part of my youth was that car.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
So maybe it's the car.
Yeah. Totally. What is your favorite outdoor activity?
Bicycling.
Okay. What is your favorite indoor activity?
What sports activity?
No, any activity.
Well, like I said, I really enjoy the photography.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's see. What do you consider to be your greatest achievement?
That I never missed a payroll. Sorry.
That's very good. I mean, that's
I
really
got
good.
I got a company with 28 employees through the recession. I mean, the recession, everyone kind of forgets about that. That was the business plan for 5 years was
To keep,
don't go out of business.
yeah.
You know, don't crash on the rock. Get
Yeah.
through, just get through till tomorrow. You
Hmm.
know, so
Yeah.
that was a little
Harry?
challenge.
Yeah.
A little, yeah.
Little Harry. What did, like, was there anything you did in particular to make sure you were able to get through that hard time?
Other than borrowing a lot of money,
Oh, well, that's something.
then then you get through it, and the recession is kind of over. People forget about it, and all of a sudden there's more work. That's great, wonderful. But now you got to take all that money and pay it all back.
Oh, okay.
5 years of recession, and then maybe like 3 years of paying everybody back. So that was 8 years of just swimming in place.
Yeah.
So about the end of that, about the time that was over, I was like, all right, I'm done. I did my job.
Yeah. 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 That sounds stressful there.
Yeah, just a touch. That's why I started photography.
You're like, see, you needed something to decompress from all that stress. You're like, photography.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, our payroll every 2 weeks is about $85,000, whether you got it or not.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that's big boy.
You got to sell some photos now.
He's just no more cabinets. That's all.
Like,
yeah, you got to come down to the factory. Anthony's been there, and Nikki's been there too. It's
yeah,
pretty wild.
I want to check it out because I love woodwork. Like I said, like I wanted to turn part of my garage into like a little wood shop so I can make like little projects and stuff.
Okay, well, this is the real thing.
I know. I'm sure it's a huge real thing, probably. Well, I saw the video that your friend had come by during your birthday.
Oh, that was his birthday. That was Peter Hurley.
Oh, that was his birthday. Okay.
It was his birthday, and it turned out he was going to a warehouse like seconds from the factory. I was like, dude, stop by. So he did.
Yeah, that was funny. He's like, hey, look who I came across.
Yeah, well, I always give it to him a little bit because he's a Jersey boy. He's supposed to be big shot New York photographer. I'm like, yeah. So that was total coincidence, meant to be. So that was fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Let's see. What do you think the world needs more of now?
What does the world need more of? Just chill the fuck out. I mean,
that's perfect.
Please, just cool out. What's the problem?
Just have a shot. Relax.
Yeah. Please.
What do you think your greatest strength is?
Greatest strength. Well, it depends. Now, at work, I try to visualize a project complete and then back up from that to figure out the steps that are needed to get to that point. Rather than like, oh my God, we got to make all this stuff. How's it supposed to happen? Well, okay, the stuff is made. How do we get to that point? So I think I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, that sounds good. What do you think your greatest weakness is?
My greatest weakness? Well, not knowing my weaknesses. I got pretty quickly though. I have a tendency to be a little too trusting of people.
Okay.
Noticed in maybe the past 10 years, 15 years, that is a problem. The natural assumption was that people are going to tell you the truth or reasonable truth. And then I find out that not necessarily.
Really? Have you had any incidents that had happened that pops
No,
out in
I
your
don't
head?
mean out lying or rip off, but I have a lot more skepticism than I used to. I don't know, maybe because I'm a grumpy business owner now. I've really come to believe that you can never overestimate a person's ability to disappoint.
Oh,
So,
okay. Mm-hmm.
so, so anyway,
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Okay. Interesting. So the next one would be, what do you think the secret to a healthy relationship is? Well, you said dating, right? Dating would be it.
Well, that you're on a perpetual date.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you
You
believe the
know,
purpose of life is?
purpose of life. What's the purpose of life? No, I don't know. If you're on a molecular level, it would be to procreate.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, purpose of life. I don't know. I guess the purpose of life is to find out what the purpose of life is.
Mm-hmm. Whatever our purpose is, right? Whatever, yeah, whatever makes you happy, right?
Well, is it happiness? Is the purpose of life to be happy? Is the purpose of life to gather up as many toys as you can? Is the purpose of life to make sure you win while other people lose? I mean, what is the purpose of life?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the purpose of life, trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm asking everybody the question, figure out, maybe I can consolidate all of the answers and figure it out.
Hopefully, that would be
Yeah.
cool.
Right.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Don't go to music school. Listen, in 1973, if you were having an event and you wanted music at it, you would have to hire somebody to play it for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a legitimate way to make money.
Yeah.
Or to have a living. So I saw the DJ thing begin, which kind of made sense. Most people, the music they know and hear and love is the music they hear on the radio and on records. So why not play the record?
Yeah.
So so that was a new thing at the time, the whole DJ thing. So I don't know, it was kind of like learning how to be a wheelwright when at the or a buggy builder as the car is being invented.
Yeah.
Very simple. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
So anyway,
what advice would you give to somebody who wants to get into music or photography?
well, like I said before, the music, you really should play what you hear.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's the most important thing is to play what you hear.
Yeah.
So then the more important question is, what are you listening to?
Mm-hmm.
What are you listening to? I don't know, the way that when you're out on a hike and you hear the water and the insects and the leaves and you hear the rhythms between them and their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Are you listening to I don't know, Mozart? With all simplicity. You even look at a Mozart score, it's nothing. So how could something so simple be so complex? How is this happening?
Yeah.
Same thing with photography, shapes and forms and the way light, cascades across a face, or the way that, you can create interest by just adding pleating to it. I'm always asking Anthony more pleats,
Yeah.
if thing, imply a shape or movement.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the color and, all of that, so it's really important what you're, if you shoot what you see, you want to shoot what you see, then the question is, what are you looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking at that shape? Or
Yeah.
are you deep that shadow?
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds amazing. I mean, that also seems to correlate also to people too, when you're talking to somebody. And because I mean, that's also like communicating that people lack also, like who are you communicating with and are you listening to them, right? So that seems to work for that also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes. Listening is important.
Yeah, I mean, listening and communication. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this has been amazing. Thank you so much, Tom. Anything else you want to add in here? Give out anything special that you're working on? You want to tell anybody?
No, not particularly. Just cruising along here, enjoying the. I'm not going to say I'm in the coda, but I'm definitely in the third act, in the third movement or the fourth movement.
Yeah.
Maybe my life is a Mahler symphony, and I'm in the fifth movement.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
You know. I like being. You know what? I like being involved with the photography because I'm involved with dancers and models and artists and designers who are starting out.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in your 20s, I was there, when you're in your 20s, I mean, success is what, like 15, 20 minutes away. I mean, it's there's all this hope and energy and everything is new and young and that's cool. That's cool. I love hanging out with that. I under no impression that like I'm cool too, but it's nice being around that. And then I go to the cardiologist's office and I see all these old dudes and I'm like, hey, you know what, I'm not too bad.
I'm doing good. Yeah, I mean you have to do what you enjoy, and when you're doing what you enjoy, then you're young at heart, right?
Well, that's because I'm an American, and Americans. Okay, here's an interesting one. When Trump was elected president, I was truly embarrassed. All right, I don't know who watches this. Too bad. I was embarrassed because Trump has been in New York since forever, and he was just this joke. I mean, it was this joke. We knew it was a joke. I remember when he started in Atlantic City in the late '70s with all the casino action down there. The guy was a joke. All right, he's the president. I was truly embarrassed, and I had several of I'm going to say some black people that I worked with and I shot with and posed and did all that stuff. I actually apologized to them. And I said I realized that comes from my privilege of being a white guy. That I can have this embarrassment. That's a privilege. So it's making me become a little bit more, as an American, you have these privilege that you're not really conscious of the privilege.
Yeah.
A little more aware of that. It's like, I don't know, have you been to Dia Beacon up in Beacon, New York, the museum?
No, but I know some people out there that I want to go out there eventually.
Here you go. This is what I got from it the few times I've been there. It's American art from like 20 minutes ago. I mean, it's very contemporary.
Yeah.
And the one thing I know is you can tell it's American art because of all the space that it takes up, all the space that it encompasses, all the space that it defines.
Oh,
very American. Having the elbow room, that's an American thing. That we're conscious of.
Yeah.
And it's a luxury, you think about it, I mean, if you live in, I don't know, Hong Kong, spaces.
Very, very small, very tight.
Right. Probably most places on earth, and so, in America, we got our big houses, our big cars, our big egos.
Yeah.
So I have become a little more conscious of that. So, I don't know.
So do you think you become more conscious of it more recently, or anything particular happened besides Trump that made you more?
Ongoing process, So, oops. Yeah, so it's an ongoing process, Would that be considered wisdom or enlightenment or?
I mean, wisdom, enlightenment. Do you think your views also changed when you met Jenny and married Jenny?
Well, I've had these views for like forever,
Okay.
it's just, they become a little more real, a little more tangible.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Awesome, Tom. I appreciate this. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us and answering some of my crazy questions from the Vogue interview.
Well, look in your search, because obviously these seem to be more questions that you want answered.
Yeah, I mean, they're like worldly things that I want to know what others think about.
Yeah. Oh, I should have done more homework for this.
Okay. We can always. I'll send it to you, and we can always do it again.
Oh, I'm good. Post it. Go nuts.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
Yeah. All right.
Today is the 26th of February at 8:36 p.m. and that's kind of what I was thinking about at that particular time.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate it so much. I'll see you later. I'll see you tomorrow.
You will. Take it easy.
All right. See ya. Bye. Finally getting back to me, my art. All I want to do is art. And the other thing is that I love stories. So like to me, art is in everything. Your art is your voice, your speaking, your connection. You can feel everyone's energy. That's your art. It's the art of living to me. So art and hustle to me is the art of living and art of it and everything.
I hope that you've cut that piece right there and make it your intro and your outro, because that was dope.